But even if you have lead time, here's the thing, you might procrastinate on your lead time, or you might be sick for a long period of time. So what do you do then? Let's talk about hiring first. And I don't mean employees, I mean a very part-time subcontractor. When you get sick, how do your grants still get turned in? That's a serious question. Or for any service provider, what happens? So even if you caught a bad flu, have an accident, will your money dry up because you physically can't show up to do the service, to write the grants? The honest truth is that your clients can only wait so long to be served. Sure, they can be patient for a minute, but they are paying for a service. And grant deadlines still go on even when you have a fever. If you are running a grant writing business and have several clients with recurring income and work, then you need to think about this. Hi, my name is Holly Rustic with the Freelance Grant Writer Academy and the Grant Professional Mentorship. We help you replace your full-time income on flexible hours writing grants from home. And if you have a grant writing business already, we help you build it with systems at scale. Let's talk about how your grants can still get turned in even when you get sick, because it will happen, or your kids get sick. Here's the thing, you need to have a small part-time team or even one other person to help out. Create automated systems, or you can quickly subcontract. So let's talk about this. Before you even do any of that though, do you have adequate deadlines and timelines set up in your business? In our programs, we highly recommend that you incorporate lead time policies for grant writing deadlines. This is so important, and I learned it the hard way. So what I mean by this is for a foundation grant, you should request at least 3 to 5 weeks of lead time. And other LOIs, sometimes you only need 2 to 3 weeks, but you need to find out a lead time that works for you. And this means that if a grant is due next week or in a few days and you just found out about it, or your client sent it over to you, you should either say, 1, I have a policy of needing at least 3 to 5 weeks to write a foundation grant. So we're not going to be able to go after that grant because of this policy. Or you're like, I still want to write the grant. I still want to mark it off as a deliverable, or I still want to get paid to write it. And I'm okay with having a crunch deadline. Then what you can say, I charge an emergency fee for anything less than your policy, the 3 to 5 weeks or whatnot. Then you can leave it up to the client if they wish to proceed or not with those new rates. And for federal and state grants, we recommend that you ask for more lead time. And in 2025 with federal grants, like I used to always say 6 to 8 weeks at least, but some of these grants are just coming out with only a 6-week turnaround time or less than that. So if you are going to write federal grants, especially in 2025, you do need to be a little bit more flexible, knowing that those turnaround times might be a little tighter, and you may have to flex your schedule a little bit. But just having a lead time policy for the different types of grants, and like I said, different grants should have different lead time, then this can mitigate a lot of things. But even if you have lead time, here's the thing, you might procrastinate on your lead time, or you might be sick for a long period of time. So what do you do then? Let's talk about hiring first. And I don't mean employees, I mean a very part-time subcontractor. Inside the Grant Professional Mentorship, we have something called the part-time lean team method. And we teach you how to bring on roles in your business to help out that your business can actually afford. And this can be a very part-time grant writer that is just a contractor, once again, not an employee. And they can help you out even when you're not sick. So you have time to focus on growing your business and doing sales and marketing or other things that you need to do in your business. So just having someone in your team that can jump on board and take over your grant writing is huge. That's just one reason to have somebody on your team. But maybe you're like, Holly, no, I don't want to hire yet. I'm very freelance. I'm just getting started. Maybe that's not where your budget is. No problem. Inside the mentorship, we also have something, we have streamlined systems. It's a whole strategy, and there's tons of templates. And it's where I teach you how to create quick standard operating procedures so you can delegate quickly, even if you're sick at the last minute. And you don't even need to have a full-time or part-time position. We have folks inside the mentorship and academy that pull in peers from the program just to help finish a grant or write something and do sub work because they know that they have the skills. So you can just quickly pull on someone and say, hey, I'm sick. Do you mind finishing this up for me? And then you just pay them just to come on as a sub in your business. And because you have SOPs developed, they're very clear on how to do the things in your business and deliver those things to your clients. Another thing to mention is that Also include time off and account for that in your retainers. So if you have retainers, know that you are going to get sick at some point. Know that you are going to need time off. And because you're not an employee, you can still get paid for your full scope of work for the month, even if you do it all in 1 week and you take off 3 weeks. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like I'm coming down with something, you might want to figure out how to offload that and sub somebody on real quick. Or maybe you're like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get that done now, so then tomorrow I can rest. Additionally, you can also incorporate out of office policies in your business that you implement when you're sick. So maybe you don't have a grant deadline tomorrow or next week, but maybe it's in 3 weeks from now and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say we're going to be out of office this week and you're going to recover and take that time off. And you have those things where you can just let your clients know, hey, just to let you know, we are out of office this week and we will be responding to the grant and all of the things next week. Like, you don't have to give them all the reasons even that you're sick. You can just say, you can just implement out of office when you need to, and just make sure you can organize that later as well. The thing is, you're not going to do your best work when you're sick. And as an example, Brian inside the mentorship, he was really sick for a couple of weeks, right? So what he did in his grant writing business is, because he implemented our SOP training and had all of our templates, he implemented our part-time lean team method, and he has some grant writers inside his business. Nothing in his business suffered while he was sick. And he actually came into one of our coaching calls in the program and he was so ecstatic about this. Of course, that's when he was feeling better, because before he had those systems in place, he was operating 24/7, even when he got sick. But now he can rest and his business still operates and he still got sales calls and made money, and all of the deliverables were handled. So first off, once again, make sure that you have proper lead time just built in anyway. That's going to be so important for grant deadlines. The next thing, of course, is to think about hiring someone even super part-time in your business. So even when you want to go on vacation, or if you get sick, or if your kids get sick, or if something comes up, right, you're able to kind of pivot and handle life and handle that. So then someone else can jump in and handle some of the grant deadlines. The other thing you can do is just create SOPs, and maybe you can sub somebody in real quick in your business. And in your retainer contracts, of course, just make sure that you account for having time off and that you're flexible in when you can do work as well. And you can always implement an out of office very quickly, and literally you're not doing anything but resting during that time, knowing that you're going to have to step up or implement some of the other things we talked about today to catch up. But you can literally just have an out of office responder that comes on, let your clients know, hey, we're actually going to be out of office next week. We do have these things we're working on, and we will be taking care of those. Very, very simple. Remember, things are going to happen. It's okay. It's okay that you take off some time, all right? It's actually good. So make sure to check out our grant professional mentorship if you are a grant professional or service provider and you need to get systems set up in your business so that even if you get sick, your business can still operate and you'll be able to hit those deadlines and while you're resting and recovering.